Well. Our little stowaway's awake. No time for introductions, though. I have questions for you. If you don't mind answering. First, who are you? Second, how did you get into our ship? Third, why are you on our ship? Listen here, stowaway. If you don't speak up, the cold sea and whatever creatures lie in its belly are more than willing to accommodate you. So either you speak up now, or spend your time in a cold, watery grave.
Good show. Good interrogation skills as well. However, I felt like it didn't need to be so crass. I think I'll take over from here. Don't worry, you did good. You may go. Oh, and have 2 men stationed outside the door. If things get rough, feel free to come in and help me subdue our little stowaway. But that's assuming that they'll overpower me, which I highly doubt. There we go. My sincerest apologies for having you tied up. I do hope you understand. And I sure hope the interrogator that I sent didn't shake you to your core too much. But anyways, enough about that. Let's get to know you. I have pretty much the same questions as him anyways. Let's get started, shall we? From the top. First, who are you? Oh, royalty. Alright, I'll bite. Of which kingdom then? Oh. Whitehall. You know, if what you're saying is true, you're in a very precarious situation. Of course I have my doubts. If you could show me a proof of your royalty, then maybe it would change my mind. Necklace. Indeed. You are royalty. I've never seen a necklace crafted like this before, and the crest. Well, it is a Whitehall kingdom. Oh, apologies, I didn't mean to get so close. However, I'm more than amused by the fact that I managed to fluster you so easily, Your Majesty. Now that we've confirmed your identity, time for my second and third question. How did you get into our ship? And why are you here? Being royalty, I would assume that a pirate ship has nothing to offer you. No luxurious music, dresses and gowns, suits, feasts, galas, and everything else the royal life could provide. What we could provide are some fruits, meat, vegetables, alcohol, the smell and taste of the sea, adventure, treasures, books, and shanties. My crew especially loves the shanties. So, let me recount. You are a runaway royalty. You didn't like the constraints of being one. So, you rebelled and ran away in search of something more. Then, you saw our ship docked in the nearby port. You don't like pirates. However, having no choice, you snuck in and bided your time, waiting until we docked once more to make you escape. First off, smart of you to pack food and water to last you until now without having to sneak out and steal. Very clever. However, while I am impressed, I do hope you understand, but we're taking you as hostage. I know this probably doesn't lessen your hate for pirates, but we have to do what we have to do. Oh, don't worry. I won't actually use the sword on you. I just like showing it off once in a while to intimidate stowaways. I apologize. While you may hate pirates, the feeling, personally, is mutual. I hate the royalty. I hate the system that they thrive off of. The fact that they take advantage of peasants and their hard work while they get to enjoy the luxuries of life, blind to the suffering of their constituents as they fall into the ground they work on, having lived and died there. While I cannot justify the actions of other pirates like myself and piracy in general, there are reasons as to why we enter this type of life. I, for one, grew up on a farm. I was an only child. My parents doted on me throughout my life, and we lived happily, loyal to the crown. We adored the royal family whenever they would have their parades, flaunting themselves for the people to see and barely interact with, just so that they can seem like they care about their people, when in reality, they don't whatsoever. We lived a happy life, living in the farmlands. We were making profits, just enough so that we had secured funds for ourselves and enjoyed some luxuries every now and again. The king then was very kind and competent, so everyone's adoration of him, including ours, were very strong. However, as one of his very important advisors passed on, we discovered how fickle he really was. He was an incompetent man, hiding behind a small council who were actually pulling the strings. He didn't come up with the decisions or decrees he had supposedly made. When the kingdom faced a war, suddenly, stocks from wheat to meat were being taken from us by the kingdom itself. We understood it at first, however. As time passed by, it became frequent. Too frequent. The advisors hung over our heads that we were being taken care of, that we were lucky to be in the kingdom, that we should be grateful that we were still alive. Meanwhile, they slowly neglected us. They threw parades still. However, it wasn't as lively as it was before. We were starving in the streets, scouring for food. They would throw some from their carriages and people would flock towards it like animals. They found so much amusement from it that they laughed and called us names. The contrast was night and day comparing to what was and what had been. It would be due to the stress from a lack of profit, crops, and food that my father got sick. My mother and I did our best to take care of him until my mother got sick herself. One morning, I'd find them both smiling, without a care in the world, free from sorrow, holding hands as they lay. Not a breath escaped them. With nothing in my name, to skip my whole life, I resorted to piracy. What you read in books are exaggerations of a pirating life, written by people who have never been pirates or ever even gotten to know pirates. They don't know the struggles of our men, our stories, our circumstances that backs us into a corner of crime and piracy. But that's just fine. After all, it's much easier to paint a group of people in a certain way and see them as villains to gather a force against it, rather than consider the factors that drive them and see them just as human as everyone else, right? Apologies for the storytelling, I'm sure you're quite bored out of your mind. Anyways, you are a very important cargo. We must ensure your pristine condition if we're to bargain with your kingdom. I think I'll move you to my quarters where it's much more comfortable than, well, here. I promise not to harm you. However, do know that if you try anything funny, I'll make good on my comrades' threat and have you thrown at sea in an instant. Now, I'll undo your ropes from the chair, but I'll keep the ones on your wrists. Understood? Good. Come on. Oh, and I know you're used to being called titles like Your Excellency or something of the sort, but on this ship, I am the captain. You'll refer to me as such. Meanwhile, you'll be my good-looking hostage, stowaway. There's that blush again. Oh yes, you heard that right. I am the captain of this ship. Nice to meet you. No, my apologies, I haven't even untied your wrists. Hold on. Ah, there you are. Again, nice to meet you. My name is Haddock Wilson, the romantic pirate, as I'm more known. Though, if you've seen the wanted posters around your kingdom, you would have already known that. I heard I'm quite popular. Allow me to formally welcome you to Sinaya's Wrath. The name is based on a myth that my mother used to tell me all the time to help me sleep. Sinaya was a goddess of the sea, and the rival of the god of the heavens. I don't remember it now, but the name always stuck to me. Oh, and here. Have some water. I'm sure you must be parched. You don't want to go back to your kingdom? Well, allow me to contemplate whether your stay here will be long or short-lived. For now, rest your head. I'll make sure your stay here is accommodating. Unless, of course, you choose to disobey me. I jest. Don't worry. I promised you you will not be harmed, no? Your thoughts are obviously clouded by exhaustion. Go ahead and lay down. I just hope you don't mind the sound of cannons being fired and swords being swung about from time to time. Rest well, my cute little stowaway.